what exactly is the girl code? And sometimes we may be following it and we don't even know we're following it. Does anybody here know the girl code?
I think
Any idea?
what they're talking about is women all like agreeing with stuff, whether, especially specifically if it's something wrong. That's what I gather from it. But what I think some of it is that what they misunderstand, they call girl code. So there are certain things that I think as women, we all kind of understand each other in a sense of just being women. It's just certain things that women do. And so when we understand a certain point, which they may not necessarily agree with the behavior, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's girl code. But I don't think that that's what it is.
You should see Ali to come up because he is subject matter expert in this. You see him in the chat.
Ali. Ali, I extended. I told Ali he can come up if he like. Ali likes to troll in the comments until he wants to come up. So go ahead. What were you about to say, Enos?
I don't think girl code actually exists. I think girl code is one of those things that is used as manipulation whenever it's convenient. I don't think there's like this consensus on how women should move when it comes to each other or covering each other, correcting each other, dealing with each other. I think, at least in my experience, women only use that when they feel some kind of ways about you, and in order to get you to get on code, which really is just a form of conforming to their smaller social norms. They say that you're not really on girl code, but I've never experienced consistency in girl code, not amongst one girlfriend group, and definitely not in different girlfriend groups. And so I don't think it's a real thing.
I think it's definitely a real thing. I think that it's so say somebody twerking in the middle of a restaurant, right? And none of y'all agree with it. If they ask you something about it, you be like, well, I don't see anything that wrong with it. Knowing good and well you hate it. Not you specifically. I'm saying in general, that's how girl code works. Things you obviously disagree with, but you gonna like shrug your shoulders like men are men, and sometimes men like what is a woman? A woman is anybody that says they're a woman. That's like girl code. You get it? Something you disagree with, but you'll still say the opposite.
And even more than that, you don't even say anything. And more than that, when you don't say anything when you know that the behavior is wrong or what they're saying is wrong, when you just remain silent, you don't shake your head, you don't nod your head, you don't do anything, you just let it happen. You pretend that it's not happening. That's also part of that girl code. I think that women more or less just kind of remain silent on most things. Like there's hardly ever any pushback on much. And using Marcus's example, the lady twerking in a restaurant, we're just using an example. For those that don't say that or say that I don't see anything wrong, the other half won't say anything when they see something wrong. The men typically like, man, what the hell is that? What is he doing?
Like, bro,
get your ass down. I'm playing. That's the major difference. Y'all don't even you.
But are y'all saying it to the man directly, or are y'all saying it amongst y'all group? Because there's a difference. A lot of times y'all are saying y'all don't be checking these women. Nobody's gonna go up to a stranger to check somebody else. But when we're in a group amongst ourselves as other women, we see women twerking in our own group, we'll be like, look at them. Oh my God, they are bugging. Like we'll sit and talk about them amongst our own group. But nobody ever go try to check with a stranger. You know what I'm saying? Nobody does that. So to try to hold us accountable and saying that we need to do that, you as men, y'all are not going to do that either.
We openly ridicule. That is not true. We will openly ridicule another man for doing shit that just doesn't make any sense.
So let me
Openly,
just
out loud. We don't hide it. We want him to say something to us. We dare him to say something to us because we know he knows he's wrong.
So AP, so you're telling me if a dude is acting a fool, let's say in a club, we're not talking about online.
Use a different example from a club.
Okay, or in a lounge, a random dude, he does not even like he rolls with you. Your type of person. Okay, because that's what we're talking about. People we don't even hang around on a daily. He's acting. You feel the need to go up to this dude and tell him what he is doing wrong.
I do openly ridicule. Yes.
Look, so if I see somebody like beating their girlfriend, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And potentially we'll step in. If I see somebody, I don't know. It depends. If it's like harmful and it needs to be said at the moment, then yeah. Most times though, if I don't know him, I might not say nothing to him because he's a stranger.
But let's come up. But if it's something that's harmful, give me an example of what we're talking. Like for guys, like we can point out several things for women. What would you say, as you women here on the panel? What would you say would be something a guy would that's not physical to a female? Where he's out of line.
For example, I would say, do you tell men to pull their pants up when they're walking?
I do.
Hell yeah.
Not a kid, a grown man.
I do.
You walk to a grown man that you don't know in the mall. All those grown men, you talk to each one of them, tell them to pull their pants up. Because it's a lot.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, here's another example that I've witnessed. I've witnessed men call women out of their name when a woman don't give them play after they try to initiate, like trying to kick it to them, and a woman be like, no, I'm not interested. And then they go off, B, you ain't all that anyway, that kind of stuff.
I can't speak to that. I haven't seen, I don't see that. So,
you said
I mean, like, I'm just saying,
you just so in that specific scenario, I used to have a real estate office on Madison and Austin. It's a mafia over there. One of the little mafia started doing that to one of the leasing agents. I did talk to him and check him like, bro, that could be my sister. Like, chill out. Like, and he kind of was like, all right, that's some real shit. I apologize. So we do it sometimes.
So, yeah, we do it a lot only because.
But it has to be the right situation. Am I correct?
I mean, they gang bang.
It's not about.
And I still check them, so that wasn't the right situation.
It's not about right situation because us men brag about having foresight. And we use that foresight in a variety of ways. If we see something is about to pop off that's going to make us get involved anyway in a way we don't want to be involved, we'll check. The easy part is to check the dude right then and there. Because if the girls start, you see what I'm saying? So that's where it's usually happening around you. You don't even know. I've gave plenty. Hey, bro, chill out. Because once she start going off, then we all like you see dudes do it. You might not even be involved in that type of thing, and he'd be like, "You right. I'm a chill, but she a bitch though." Like you see what I'm saying? Like you don't see that stuff going on behind the scenes because you know if you let it escalate, it will get to a point where you have no control. So we do that all the time.
Prime example of girl code is how this about girl code, and yet we defending. Do men have a code? That's girl code.
No, we were just trying to understand what the expectation was. But go ahead.
We were asking you guys what is girl code because, like Shan said in a monologue, like you guys may point it out as girl code, but we just have an understanding amongst each other in terms of the way girls move. So we're like, no, we're not going to get involved.
Can I give my
answer? Not necessarily girl code.
Can I give my answer on girl code? So there is a girl code. So here's the funny part about it. Y'all may not even know girl code is natural because girl code is activated in the presence of men. All right. Women have a natural inferiority complex around dudes. It's natural. I told you that I'm watching these panels and I'm taking active notes because one of the biggest narratives we have on YouTube is women don't take accountability. But when we really look at it is that women damn sure don't take accountability in the presence of men. It's an inferiority complex because you already have so much going against you because men are in the building, men are arrived, men are bigger, stronger. You don't want us to be more intelligent. Therefore, you naturally don't give up any room to us. You don't give up the fact that you might be wrong about something. It's natural. It's to absolve yourself of like accountability in any situation. What else do I got here? It involves gaslighting, ignoring or ignorance, deflecting, and changing the subject. Isn't that what you see on Instagram and YouTube all day long, it's natural for you to do that in the presence of men. Like that's what girl code is. It's where it's like, well, he's right, but I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of being right. And all the other women see that one woman didn't come out and admit it, so y'all not going to admit it either. So we're not going to give up any ground to these men. I've seen it happen literally 1,000 times. I could write a paper on this stuff.
You know, I think that that's the art of minding my own business. I have been able to live my life fight free by minding my own damn business. I'm not about to stand here and I mean, this pertains to the first conversation we're having. I'm not about to go to a woman who thinks it's okay to twerk in public. That alone lets me know the mentality I'm dealing with. I'm not going to, and sometimes I think too, just like I think it was mistaken in saying, men don't understand how women work. Women understand how women work. If I'm going to tell a woman something, if I really want it to be effective communication, I know that there's certain things that need to be in place. She needs to be able to be in a place where she can receive what I'm saying. Other than that, I'm just talking to myself. And so sometimes you may view it as, oh, they're staying on code. Whereas for me, I know if I say anything right now, it's not going to be received. And so I prefer to say it a little bit later. That's just, you know.
And I think that, because that's important, right? Because I think it was Trigger Mike that was saying, like, or Marcus, I can't remember who it was, but saying that, like, you see men correct each other. Men don't have the opportunity of seeing women correct each other because we never do it in the presence of men. It's always behind closed doors. One, because that woman is less likely to be combative because there are no men there. Two, because if there is a situation where we need to exit stage left, like we can, and like that's it. We just write it off and it's done. The third thing is women don't want to humiliate each other in public, because then
there's the code.
There's a caveat. Hang on. There's a caveat to that, right? There's a caveat to that. If you guys are genuinely friends and you genuinely care about each other, you don't want to embarrass your friend. Now, if this is like a competition over a male, women will throw each other under the bus ruthlessly. Very ruthlessly. If they are competing over a man that both, like, multiple parties think is desirable, there is, and this is why I say I don't think there's a girl code, because there are certain situations where everything goes out the window and all is fair in love and war, right? And so if it's really that situational, there's no code, right? It's just, hey, in this scenario we expect conformity, but in this scenario it's every man for themselves. And so, like, that's not how being on code works. It's being on code is a security measure that if things go crazy, we all stick together and we have a game plan and everybody's aware of it. That's what code is. And like Trigger Mike, you were in the military. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Like, if you have a code of conduct, everybody's to follow it to a T in every scenario, right? Like, everything's laid out, but it doesn't work like that with women.
Well, so everything you just said was extremely logical. Extremely logical. I feel like everything you say, it works until it doesn't. Because usually when women emotion are involved, that logic goes away. So yes, I would agree with you. That's the way it's supposed to work. Everybody's supposed to stay on, code or whatever. But the way y'all activate each other to do it, even against your better judgment, is probably where men call cap. Because we read facial expressions on these panels. Because it's not just about girl code when you're like in nonverbal sense. When y'all get asked direct questions, the smartest, the most intelligent, y'all get asked a direct question, now all of a sudden you don't know. Like, we do things on purpose just to pry to see, is she gonna stay on code? And y'all absolutely do. But you're right. I guess y'all just doing this stuff behind closed doors.